What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Mystic Rick's Crypto Picks. I am your host, Mystic Rick. We're going to go over a few things today about this current mini run we're on. And before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to share my content so that other people can pick it up on the YouTube algorithm. And also make sure to mention me on your social media outlets if you feel that I have been providing you guys with some good information. So let's get ready to dive in and analyze. Before I get started, amateur, welcome in. Samantha, how you doing? Gramdacious, how you doing? So currently, per coin market cap, Bitcoin is sitting in at $32,190. Ethereum at $2,004. Binance coin sitting in at $291, and Cardano at $1.18. XRP hanging in there at 59 cents. We have an overall market cap of $1.31 trillion with a 24-hour volume of 65.1 billion. And Bitcoin coming in at 45.9% dominance. ETH still hanging out in that 17% region with a GWE of the day right now at 23. Currently, the number of cryptos being tracked on CoinMarketCap is 11,020, so it is growing astronomically by the month. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into these charts. Now, if you were to watch my little live mini short earlier, and this is the 4 hour, but we're going to go down to um, the hour time frame. Actually, we're going to go down to our 30-minute. Now, if you've been paying attention to my little videos, what I told you earlier is that expect Bitcoin to attempt to ride this wedge and possibly follow this dotted line. So far, we have found support on it, and we've also found resistance on it. So we're basically surfing it right now. Will we have an attempt to come back up and retest it? That is unknown. But right now we're sitting in open space. The next significant area, if Bitcoin is going to try to push upward, would be to make contact and retest this macro downtrend, which has been resistance. If I go out here to the daily so you guys can see that line, it has been resistance all the way back to the 21st of May. So we have been caught inside of this minus this outlier up here since the 21st of May, and we just crossed the 21st of July, so 2 whole months. And this is the biggest green candle since the 4th of July. um, so we are starting to get down to the bottom of this this triangular pattern here, which is a descending triangle. Now, one thing I want to note for you guys on the daily, okay, another thing, if you've been tracking my channel for a while, something I've been talking about in particular is the fact that um, since we have, and I don't know how this line got moved here. Okay, there we go. Since we have started this bull run, RSI was peaked out way back on the 3rd of January. Okay, but price continued to pump. So what does that tell you? We have been not only trapped over here in a descending price action pattern, but we have also been slowly descending on RSI in terms of its peak levels. So what does that mean for us? It means it can mean a couple things, right? Now, what's interesting about that is we are getting to retest this macro downtrend of resistance for our RSI. And it would actually put, if we come in contact with it, at 45.97. So look for a daily RSI rejection at 45.97 if we do continue to try to pump a little bit. ELDVET, what's going on? So that would be our area of resistance um, for our RSI on the daily time frame. Now make sure you understand that resistance levels, or excuse me, RSI levels change depending on the time frame you're on. So as you're checking that out, make sure that you're looking at the daily for that peak of 45.97. So actually, well, because I had to readjust this line here. So that would actually put it, and that's my mistake here, that would put it at, see if we can zoom in a little closer here. That would put us at about 47.03. So make sure you readjust that. 47.03. So look for your rejection in that area. John, what's going on? How you doing? Now, again, I want you to understand what is also significant about this. Look at this gap in terms of red days versus green days. Okay, this is the biggest candle again since the 4th of July. So um, I just want you guys to pay attention to that. And even the massive run off of the speculation of the B word conference still was not able to reach all the way up to the macro downtrending line. Now, what does that mean for us when we start to go down into the short time frame, such as the 4-hourly? As you can see right now, the 4-hourly is showing that we still have some sort of upward trace movement. Okay, it doesn't mean that it won't change, but as of right now, if you look at this big blue um, sector right here, okay, it's not currently, ready to just come straight down. Okay, so I would pay particular attention to that. Um, and if my candles look a little weird to you, it's because I'm not using your regular candles. I'm using the Heiken Ashi. So um, the momentum waves aren't indicating anything on the 4-hour right now. Nothing red, um, nothing green. However, if you would have saw this green dot right here and got in off this green dot, well, you could have been in a nice juicy long right there. So, or if you got in off of this blood diamond, you could have wrote it down. So very interesting. Stuck in a short at 1975. Well, hey, Roy, what's going on? Well, Big Daddy, at least you didn't open the short at like 1800. That would have been pretty bad. Um, 1975 is it's not it's not bad. Um, maybe not where you want to be, right? We always want to see green, but it doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Now, if we go down to our hourly time frame, of course, we are descending on the hourly time frame. You can see the blood diamond there, or excuse me, not the blood diamond, but a red diamond. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be a massive downtrend, right? Because obviously here you have a red diamond followed by a red X and then a pump, right? So it doesn't always mean that, and then there was no green dot down here indicating that it was going to pump again. So you have to be really careful with how you read indicators. This is why I teach you guys how to trade off of patterns, right? So that you can turn this off and still understand how this all works. So, um, Roy says he's still on the sidelines. Hey, it's all right to be on the sidelines. EOD vet says not stuck really, but not yet time to average up. Determined not too close in the red. Yeah, yeah, no, I can see that. Um, Now we just finished forming bearish divergence on the hourly. That's why we're going down. Okay, um, you can see the clear M right there, right? That's your M. Boom, boom. It's not big, obviously. So that's what's called a, that's your microscopic sized um, divergence, right? This would be this would be more of a macro sized, right? So you have to understand what you're looking at, right? Is it going to be a micro sized or macro sized, right? You have your W, you have your M, you have your W, you have your M, okay? And some of them pop up beautifully, right? I mean, look at this W right here. It doesn't get any more kind of symmetric than that, or symmetrical than that W right there. Um, so again, we're right here and we're sitting in open space. Okay, open space is never an area where you want to start um, FOMOing into trades until you have some sort of positive signal that says, okay, I should probably be going long or short. Does that make sense to everybody? And we're still kind of we're green here on our momentum wave. So I would kind of just, I mean, we do have a red dot that appeared here, but again, there was a red dot here. Okay, it's still pumped. So you have to learn. This is why I teach you guys to use trends, right? Trend trading can help you a lot better than trying to buy some fancy indicator and learning how to read with it. And of course, no, I did not pay for this indicator. So just to be transparent. Now, what you could also do is, because this is kind of like a funky action pattern here, right? Um, what you could do for short term is draw a line in the sand there, right? Say, okay, well, if we break below this, then I'll enter a mini short. Okay, I'll enter a mini short, and if we were um, to confirm above this, then I would enter a mini long, right? Because right now there's just not enough data. Okay, there's not enough data with this funky pattern that the price action is making. Um, I will I would caution you not to currently prepare for some sort of massive dump, as the markets are kind of up right now outside of some stocks. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So just a couple things to pay attention to. And just on a side note, make sure you guys check out Anarchy. It's a new game. It's going to be bad ass. I mean, look at these freaking NFTs, and they unlock certain things for you in game. For instance, this warlord right here, which she is awesome. She's actually unrareable right now. They're sold out from Anarchy, but there is a few up for auction on Rareable, and she is quite awesome. Look at that. And you can use her in game to help your team defeat an enemy. Okay. She's a ultra rare NFT, and this NFT, who knows? It could make it up to 500 bucks, 1,000 bucks. I mean, hell, if a crypto punk sold for freaking, you know, $300,000 or something crazy like that. I'm pretty sure this could go for some decent money. Has way better graphics than CryptoPunks. Yeah, BitBoy just needs to shut the hell up. And yeah, I said that on live. He doesn't like it, come fight me. Since he likes to talk about fighting people. Okay. Now, what indicator do you guys see? We can even go out and look at the weekly. Okay. What indicator do you guys see that's going to run us to 100K? Way up here. Okay. Think about this. We'll take the low since 2019, right? Bitcoin pumped 1,300%. Now, in terms of price, this was the most parabolic run in human market history, and it was still only able to reach a 1.5-ish trillion market cap. Now, this is the thing. Um, in order for us to reach 100K, um, and you notice how he likes to change his predictions on the slide like nobody's paying attention, right? Started 320, well, actually it started like 225K, then it went up to 300K, then it went up to 322K, and then back down to 150, and now he's trying to say 100. But let's just take 322K, right? In order for Bitcoin to hit 322K, it would need a $7.6 trillion market cap. Now, do you honestly see Bitcoin growing another, because it's only at $600 billion right now, so another $7 trillion in 60 days? Think about that. Think about that. We've already been on the most parabolic run in human history. Do you honestly think, yes or no in the chat, that Bitcoin in the next 60 days, as he predicted, is going to grow $7 trillion out of its asshole? Now we can take a third of that um, for for his 100K prediction, right? And in order for Bitcoin to reach 100K, it would need somewhere in the neighborhood of like 2.1 to 2.2 trillion dollar market cap. That was the max for the total crypto market cap, as high as it could get out of this whole last year. Do you honestly think, guys, that over the next 60 days that Bitcoin is going to grow a market cap of $1.6 trillion dollars? Think about that. If you want to take his 100K prediction, right? Bitcoin's sitting at 600 billion right now. Do you honestly think that in 60 days it's still going to grow a market cap larger than what it hasn't been able to reach in the last year? Kyle, what's going on? Last call outs, what's going on? Kara, what's going on? How you guys doing? Everybody make sure you smash that like button if you like my content. So I'm just hitting you guys with a dose of reality here. I know some people don't like to hear it, but at the end of the day, I just I feel I have responsibility to try to guide you guys the best I know how. And I'm not going to shield some ridiculous ass price to you when there is absolutely nothing in the charts showing it. We are literally under every last moving average. Okay? Every last moving average that exists. Okay? Every last one. Exactly. He really is. Because while he's screaming, that whales are manipulating the market, this is the thing. How are what you doing any different? Especially when you own millions of dollars worth of the assets that you keep pumping to the retail investors. And then as soon as whales or institutions or corporations sell their asset, which is their property, you want to scream manipulation. You can't invite the devil to the dance and then scream bloody murder when the devil takes over the dance floor. Yes. Yes. So literally here, you can see this on the weekly, okay? We have closed in the red on the weekly since the 10th of May. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10. Working on the 11th week in the red. What does that tell you? Right? What does this tell you? Okay? Not to mention, our main markets are on the verge of some massive corrections. When they want to take, this is the thing. I'm gonna hit you guys with some logic, right? Because I love logic. Gonna blow you away. This is what they do, right? You know how we talk about the illusions, the that the magician really isn't performing magic, right? So when they say that Bitcoin's going to go to 100, 200, 300K because money's being printed at an astronomical rate, what the hell does that have to do with the price of Bitcoin? Absolutely nothing. It's just like asking you what does it have to do with the price of tea in China? Nothing. Okay? Money printing has nothing to do with the price of Bitcoin. So we are going through inflation. Retail investors don't own enough Bitcoin to hedge against inflation. It's the corporations and institutions and whales that have enough to hedge against inflation. Okay? So the reason why when you see the markets drop and then Bitcoin tanks is because the major players start taking pieces of the pie to make up for what's happening with their other markets, their other assets. Now, another side of that is inflation is here. Okay? So your jobs aren't paying you more, but you're still paying more. And what does that mean? Well, you're still spending 500 a month for groceries, but you're not getting as much groceries. You're still spending 200 a month, 300 a month for gas, but you're not getting the same amount of gas. Does that make sense in that light? So if people have to pay more for their food, more for their bills, more for their fuel, it gives them less money to invest in Bitcoin. Now, ultimately, who helps the market move the most? The retail investor. Yes, crypto Houston is true. So, he's screaming prices like this, but there is zero indication in the chart showing it. I mean, literally, we're under the 50-day moving average, we're under the 60-day moving average, we're under the 75-day moving average, we're under the 100-day moving average, we're under the 200-day moving average, we're under the 365-day moving average, we're under the 10-week EMA, we're under the 21-week EMA, we're under the 50-week EMA. When is he going to stop screaming this stupid shit to people? And yeah, I know I'm on my soapbox about it, but that's because I care about you. I care about the people who are just getting into crypto and they probably see his channel, right? Because the algorithm shows his channel to a lot of new people who are searching about crypto. And this isn't the type of market that I can explain it to you in a 5-minute roll up, right? It could take days, weeks, months to truly get someone to understand cryptocurrency. Blockchain technology is still too new to be normalized, right? Don't look for it to be truly normalized after the next halving cycle or 2030. So I just hope my perspective on that makes sense to people, right? And if it doesn't make sense, it's okay. It's okay to blast me in the chat and say, "Hey, Rick, I think you're stupid." Cool. And another problem with all the money printing is all the money printing is increasing inflation, and eventually inflation will break the economy because they have to force a great reset to fix it. And that's the problem. Our government isn't trying to fix the issue, they're trying to kick the can down the road. Well, guess what? When you kick the can down the road, you eventually walk right back into the can again. So people have to stop and think logically for a second, right? And I spoke on this the other day. It's just like people were believing that Dogecoin was going to be Bitcoin prices someday. What in your astronomical left ass cheek makes you think that Dogecoin can reach $32,000? For one, in order for Dogecoin to reach a price like that, it would need a $5 quadrillion market cap. So you're trying to tell me by 2030 that Dogecoin by itself is going to grow a market cap larger than 1,000 times the entire crypto market cap? So I mean, and also look at it this way, okay? If you follow his channel on the weekly, I'll first warning shot fired. He said bad time to sell your Bitcoin. Second warning shot fired. He said bad time to sell your Bitcoin. Third warning shot, fourth warning shot, fifth warning shot. He said bad time to sell your Bitcoin. Next one, next one tells you bad time to sell your Bitcoin. Next one, next one, next one tells you it's a bad time to sell your Bitcoin. Then has the nerve to come out and say, well, I could lose 99% of my money and I'd still be a millionaire. And I've been trying to tell you guys to take profits. No, motherfucker, you haven't. Go back and look at his videos. I'm sorry. Forgive my language if you don't like cussing. But I don't like people being done like that, especially people that just honestly don't know any better and they're looking to influencers to lead the way. Especially when this market is so young, any influencers that are in right now are considered pioneers. People that don't know any better are looking to us to lead the way, to be able to talk to you about blockchain technology, to be able to talk to you about a network, to be able to talk to you about an ecosystem, talk to you about technical analysis and signs you can look out for trends in the market, how wallets work, how exchanges work, what's a long position, what's a short position, what's a stop loss, what's a take profit. You know, look at Google Trends. Bitcoin went from 100 on the scale, out of 100, all the way down to what? I think 12, 10, 15, something like that. It's not even trending on Google. Again, if we go back to our daily time frame while we're out here like this, um, you know, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. No, we talked about this too. But I pay attention to this massive head and shoulders we're forming. Now, if that were to play out, it could bring us down to $11,000 Bitcoin. Again, doesn't mean it's going to play out. But I'd still watch out for it. Morgan Stanley says the bull market's deteriorating breadth seems to be foreshadowing a sharp slowdown in corporate profits and an economy that may feel worse than most are expecting. Now, also on this channel, for those who've been on this channel since the beginning, my OGs of this channel, remember when I told you that El Salvador adopting Bitcoin didn't mean jack shit? Remember when I told you guys that? I said, don't pay attention to that. It's just an overload to try to get you to go long. You're gonna go long and you're gonna get smashed. Okay. Now, what happens? You now have the Salvadorians freaking they're protesting because they don't want Bitcoin. They're protesting in the streets. Go check it out. It's not a FUD story. It's real. Just throwing it out there. Most people don't even know what El Salvador is on the map. So how was that super bullish for Bitcoin? I get it. I get it. A country adopted Bitcoin. But the World Bank was pissed off at the president of El Salvador for doing that. And the US went after him too. Why? Because Bitcoin becoming a nation's currency um, means that it can't have a capital gains tax. Yep, Crypto Houston, you're right. So, um, I mean, think about this, right? Think about this on this channel. If I told you guys, a massive pump was coming and not to sell anything, and you didn't sell, and then you get a massive crash that puts your profits in the red, and then I have the nerve to come on and talk about how I just purchased another $2 million worth of crypto, that wouldn't piss you off? So think of it that way. Again, like Crypto Houston said, big dogs eating fillets while the small dogs starving to death. Now, if you were looking for the opportunity to go long before the bull run started, it was right in here during this kind of flat line because Bitcoin only worked between 9,000 and this was DeFi summer, okay? So it only got up to 12, came back down. Um, it's I think it maybe like 98.50 was as low as it got. So basically, if you went long here, you couldn't have gotten liquidated. I mean, hell, even if you went 25, 50x, you couldn't have gotten liquidated as long as your margin was large enough. And then you let it run up, and then you would have been safe, right? This correction, you still safe down here. This correction, you're still safe down here. This correction up here, you're still safe down here. And I would have probably sold when the pie indicator went off. It's probably when I would have closed out my trade when the pie indicator went off. Now, you could also use my mountain base, right? Hey, we start at the base of the mountain. I'm gonna start my entry, right? Look at the base of the mountain. You could have went 100x and still wouldn't have gotten liquidated. So this is actually how Crypto made those millions during the front side of bull run, because he opened his trade at like $9,700, and it was a big trade. Yeah, Crypto Houston, I made a video about that. Go watch my video from a couple weeks ago that talks about what's different with Bitcoin in the crypto market this time around. Trust me, it'll blow you away. Everything you're saying right now, I made a detailed video about it weeks ago. So that's where the blow off top came from with Bitcoin, is because everything was paired to it. So in order to get the altcoins, you had to purchase Bitcoin. So guess what? You hear about the altcoins rallying, so you start buying a bunch of Bitcoin so that you can sell it. And as everybody's slowly selling off their Bitcoin, that's when it just had that decline, but altcoins were still going up because you're trading one asset into another. So Bitcoin makes the sharp fall down, altcoins make the sharp pump up, and then Bitcoin eventually just tugged on them enough that they both just crashed. Yeah, yeah, 90% of YouTubers who are shilling hard are long gone. Yeah, and I get it. I get it. I know half the reason why I'm not getting a lot of views is because I'm not talking about Bitcoin that's going to 50K, 80K, 100K, 500K, but I'm not doing that to people if I don't see it in the freaking charts. I'm not doing it. Yeah, yeah. But guess what? You don't have to anymore. You can go buy USDT and buy your coins. You can buy USDC and get your tokens. You can buy Ethereum, Binance, Solana and get your tokens. You don't need Bitcoin anymore. Then you have billions of dollars being pumped into turd coin and shitcoin and kumquat and porno star and everything else they can come up with. Then behind that, you have the NFT space. An NFT literally sold for $69 million a couple months ago. I kid you not. It did nothing special. It's just a picture. $69 million. At least if I'm buy dang on NFT, it's gonna do something cool like this, right? It's gonna do something cool like this. Or look at my Star Atlas NFTs, right? I own this NFT right here, and look at what I can do with it, right? I can spin it around. It freaking plays music, right? It has its own music. Look, you go to view experience.
I think what Star Atlas is doing is reawakening our intergalactic curiosity, reawakening our intergalactic.
Isn't that awesome? Now that's an NFT. So, um, anybody have any questions for me? Right? Q&A time, live Q&A. Ask me what you want. You ask me anything. Ask me what you want. Yeah, Star Atlas is a game that for one, it's going to be the most intense graphic video game that exists, and it's not even going to be super hard on the graphics card because they're using a Real Engine 5, and the way they're able to use it in blockchain tech, it's not going to be stressful on a graphics card like, for instance, World of Warcraft would be. But yes, it's going to be awesome, and it'll be player versus environment and PvP. Your NFTs can be used in game. They give you rewards to use in game, such as increased mining speeds for precious metals. Um, some of them give you workers. Some of the NFTs give you ships. So instead of them calling them NFTs, they call them meta posters. But you can sell the meta posters on secondary markets. So those are going to be some massive games coming up. Actually, the Anarchy token has released, so you can get it on Pancake Swap and Uniswap. I do have some myself, kind of in order to get in early, right? So I got the invite to go ahead and get in on the Battle Wave 2323, which would be like the pre-play for the game. But in order to get in it, you have to get signed up, get the invite, get registered, and then you have to stake your Anarchy tokens along with some Ethereum, um, and then get the liquidity provider tokens. And the liquidity provider tokens are how you sign up for a team and actually play in the Battle Wave 23-23. Um, so, and then of course, um, if you if you want to be able to do certain things in game, you can purchase, the NFTs. Um, that give you in-game stuff. So you got your Sentinels down here, and then you have your Imperials and your Anarchists and your cohorts down here. And then these are Tesseracts. I don't know what they are, but they're supposed to be like super badass, and they're probably going to be expensive as hell if you earn one and choose to sell it because of the rarity. So I highly advise you guys do not sleep on NFT games. And that doesn't mean be like meme coins and just pick freaking, cum load, right? um, Look at the projects, right? See if it's a load of crap or it's actually a good game. I have some Binamon. Interesting enough, um, it costs 1,200 Binamon to buy your booster pack of NFTs so that you can battle. Um, just um, so it's interesting. Then also you have crypto blades. So $10,000 invested 2.5 weeks ago in crypto blades would be worth about $800,000 right now. Gosh, it hurts my feelings. It hurts my feelings. Koopa is another great one. Ethermon is another one that's coming up. So Bitamon, Ethermon, Koopa token, which Koopa is not a game. It's going to be a token platform for blockchain betting, sports, esports, things like that that gamers can use. Star Atlas, don't sleep on it, and they're not rushing the game, but you can start to get the NFTs, and then eventually they'll have their marketplace and stuff like that. So um, I try to share projects with you that are going to go places, right? Um, Supporting as an early supporter, it's a guarantee they will post it in exchanges, which to give it exposure. Kraken just listed it. Yep, yep. Covalent. Yeah, I will. It's is it already available for purchase? CQT Covalent billion tokens, circulating supply of 49 million. Okay, so my guess is you either stake it to receive some of this max supply, or it's rewarded, and it's on the Ethereum blockchain. Okay, so it just came out in June. It can be purchased on FTX, Gate, KuCoin, Sushi Swap. It's interesting, interesting. I might have to scoop up some of that. See, Covalent. I'm gonna look some more into it, but I might have to scoop up some of that. I mean, looking at price action, I wonder if it can go lower if we have that next massive crash, because right now it's kind of hanging out where it's low as it's been. It'd be nice to see it come down and to maybe like 10 cents. Big Daddy asked for realistic bottom for the market. Um, a realistic bottom for the market is 16K. It just doesn't seem that way because that's what a lot of retail investors are psychologically trained to think, that Bitcoin can't get down that low. Well, I mean, look at the last span of time frame. It got as high as 20,000 and came as low as 3,000. So, um, and also remember, we break 28,000. It is a huge support gap. Okay, there's no support there until you get to 22, and 22,000 is not that big. Okay, it's not that big. And the problem is, once we get down in here, even if we bounce, look at all of this resistance, right? All of this support coming down is going to be resistance trying to come back up. If it doesn't get trapped somewhere down in this region and just works it for months, couple months to a year, who knows? Um, yeah, you don't want it to crash, like Crypto Houston said, and I spoke on that guy's uh, to you also. What goes up too fast will come down fast, right? What goes down too fast will come up fast. Look at this one. Okay, this didn't even last an hour. This didn't 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 last an hour. Okay, this one didn't last an hour. So us slowly getting down here is showing that this is the desired pattern. Okay, this can just be a fear sale. Okay, so it means that at that time, 30K was not the desired overall market value of Bitcoin. Okay, but it has been slowly coming down, especially over the last couple days. Okay, so that's what you want. And again, I'd also pay attention to RSI. We peaked a few hours ago at 11 Central Standard Time at 67. The last time we hit 67 or higher on RSI was back on 4th of July. And what happened after 4th of July? Big blood diamond popped up. Boom, right? Bitcoin would then have a over the span of 16 hours, a 6% drop. So a drop of $2,287. Well, that would be a real nice drop for me right now. That's a nice juicy short. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to catch the actual apex of it, right? In order to actually get in that, you would have had to catch it on the candle that still showed that momentum was continuing. But again, the sign was there. Okay, remember, trading is a risk. So you just have to know what you're doing. And even the best of the best still get wrecked occasionally. It happens. Okay. But if I'm going to play my cards, I've seen several rejections of this trend line. So if we come up to have a rejection of the trend line, if it can even get up there, okay, look at how massive this pump was. But on a micro or macro level, right? So not zoomed all the way in, right? Um, what becomes an M eventually becomes a W, right? And so what becomes a W will eventually become an M. So we could go all the way out to August 2nd before retesting 28.5. It just depends if this trend holds, right? We get a rejection off of this trend. But every time we go down, and retrace back up, it makes the retest of this trend lower in price, okay, because it's not a straight line across. We are probably peaking on this trend. Now, what I'll do on the 4-hour, okay, because the trend line is different on the 4-hour, I'm going to move this here, okay? Now, if you see a break in this, okay, it's probably going to be your first red candle. Again, you see a break in this, probably going to be your first red candle. That would be, and then you could watch to see if it gets another confirmation. Doesn't mean it will, but you could look to see if it gets another confirmation, and then boom, that's your opportunity to catch in on that short. Again, we could ride all the way up, snake all the way up, and test this line here on around 7 a.m. in the morning on July 23rd. So tomorrow. Okay. If we get to this line and we get a rejection off of it, that's probably where I'd open a short just off the rejection. It doesn't mean it can't go above it, but if I see a rejection, I'd probably open my short. That is not financial advice. I'm not a financial investor, or excuse me, I'm not a financial advisor. I just want to, lay that out there in terms of, just transparency. Okay. Um, so let's just be patient, right? Let's see what the market gives us. Okay. But just be mindful that RSI has made a turn. It doesn't mean it won't spike back up and try to attempt to test 70, but just pay attention. Okay. And over these next few hours, I'll be watching momentum. Um, I'll be I'll be watching RSI, and I'll kind of just be watching what's going on in the news. Okay, remember, Bitcoin is not some sort of AI that just operates price on its own. Okay, this is all people. So you have to understand people to understand price, understand the sentiment, what's trending, what's hot, what's not, where are people exhausted at, where are people excited at. Okay, so let's just see what this all gives us. Okay, the trend is your friend. That's right. I mean, again, here, right? If I take a line from here and I draw it down, okay, it gave you the indicator of when to go long or get the hell out of that short. Okay, this candle was warning shot fired. I mean, it came all the way up to 30,949. So when it came back down and closed at 30,300, and then it opened and instantly started coming up, right there was your indication to get out. So first warning shot fired, crossing over this line was second warning shot fired to get out of the trade. Told you guys. You can't use them on just a couple candles, okay? Like a debacle like this, you can't make a trend on. However, um, use the red line and green lines I've taught you guys how to use, okay? I hope they've been helping you guys. And if they haven't, well, just say, hey, your trend lines suck. I'm all about honesty. I'm all about transparency. So, but that's all I got for you guys. It's not going to be a super long session. If something changes and I decide to go long or I decide to go short, whatever it's going to be, and I'll possibly make it a live, So you guys will get to see that. And again, if you're on your way home from work, or you're on the other side of the world and you're getting ready to go to work, please be safe in your ventures. Have some good din din. If you're going to feed your dog off the table, hey, make sure do not give your dog chicken bones or any type of poultry bones because they shatter. Don't want your dogs getting sick. If you're going to drink, drink responsibly, but make sure it's whiskey. Yeah, yeah, no problem, no problem. I love you guys. Please, again, make sure to hit that like, subscribe button, share the content, and Mr. Crick is out. Go get those gains, everybody.